Hello everybody, welcome back to another 2024 election prediction. In this video we're doing a hypothetical scenario between Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan up against Governor of Virginia Glenn Youngkin. So this is purely a hypothetical. We already know the candidates are going to be Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I'm just doing this as a viewer request, as a little what if it was these two candidates. And I do think this would be a pretty tough matchup for both sides here. I think these are the top two best candidates each party could really run. I think Gretchen Whitmer's a very strong candidate. She would help in the Rust Belt. She would do really well in the Blue Wall states. Well, Glenn Youngkin would probably do really well in the Sun Belt states, I would argue. But let's just get into this. So I think we'll start off with the first few states. Iowa, at this point, it's just trending Republican so much that Youngkin's going to be able to easily win here. I don't see a Democrat able to put this as a likely Republican state anymore. I just think it's going to be R plus 10 no matter what in most scenarios. Nebraska second, the Omaha district. I think this goes lean blue. I think Whitmer would do well in the suburban district, but Youngkin, he'll turn back some of the trends here. Again, I think you'll have pretty good suburban appeal, but it's still not enough to weigh down those Democratic trends long term here. So it still stays as a lean blue district. Going over to Texas, I think this is a likely Republican state. I think Youngkin would have pretty strong appeal in the southern states, and I think you'd do well with independents in this state as well. I think you'd do pretty strong in Texas. Same with Florida, but it wouldn't be a safe R state because Whitmer would be able to generate Democratic enthusiasm in this state enough to keep from going safe Republican. Going over to Ohio, I think it would just be shy of an R plus 10 state. I think it would go like R plus 8 or 9. Again, Youngkin, he may do well with independents. I could see like maybe his Rust Belt appeal isn't the best. I still think he's a pretty good candidate, but I don't think he'd win Ohio by a safe margin. I think it'd be a likely Republican one. Georgia and North Carolina, those are kind of interesting ones. I would probably put Georgia as a lean Republican state, and North Carolina, I think Georgia would probably go like to him by about 3, while North Carolina goes to him by about 4. Again, I just think due to polarization, we're probably not going to see these states go likely Republican, even with Glenn Youngkin, because I do think Gretchen Whitmer's good enough of a candidate to keep these states in reach for her campaign. So let's head over to Maine and New Hampshire, and I would put both these states as likely blue states. I don't think Glenn Youngkin could really compete in either of these two states, but he would be able to snag Maine's second district as well. Let's head over to the western states. So New Mexico, I would probably put this as about a likely blue state. I think Glenn Youngkin could make some inroads with Latino voters here, but at the end of the day, they're still going to vote pretty strongly Democratic in New Mexico. Arizona, just because he isn't Trump, and I do think he would do well with moderate Republicans who dislike Trump, I think he's a pretty heavy favorite in the state of Arizona. So I'd put this as a lean Republican state. Nevada, on the other hand, I think he would do well in as well, but not as well as in Arizona. So we're going to see Nevada be a bit more left wing than Arizona here. I think it'll be a tilt Republican state. So he just needs one more state to win the election. He's at 268. In Minnesota, I think this is a likely blue state. I think Whitmer would do really well in these blue wall / Rust Belt states right here. I think she'll do pretty decent in the state of Minnesota. Michigan, it's her home state. I think she wins it by a likely blue margin. She's really popular in this state. She won it by double digits last time in 2022. So I see her winning it again in a matchup between her and Youngkin right here. I think she wins it by about 5. In Wisconsin, it's a neighboring state of Michigan, so it's a bit of a regional advantage here. It would also have Wisconsin going to Whitmer by a lean blue margin, so not a likely margin. It would be a bit down from that. Pennsylvania as well, I think, would go to her, but it would be a bit closer. I could see Youngkin doing well in the suburbs in Pennsylvania, so I'd probably put this as a tilt blue state. I think it'd be a little bit closer than Wisconsin right here. And now we're down to the state of Virginia. So with Virginia, I think I'm going to put it as I think it's a Youngkin state, honestly. And it's the tipping point state right here, too. Again, it's a very democratic state. Went D plus 10 back in 2020. But Youngkin, he's a very popular governor right here. So I think it's a narrow advantage towards him. I would probably put this as a narrow Youngkin state. I think it would be a close one, honestly. I think Whitmer's a good Democratic candidate to make Virginia close against Youngkin. I would probably put it as a tilt Republican state. So it goes 281 to 257. Youngkin barely wins with the tipping point state of Virginia in this prediction. So let me know what you think of this prediction down in the comments down below. If you have any other hypothetical scenarios that are interesting enough, I'll probably do them in the future. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you're new to this channel, I'd highly subscribe and you enjoy political videos like this. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.